Magic Johnson is easily the best point guard of all time.
Michael Jordan was totally right about Steph Curry, but no one listened. Almost a year ago now, another GOAT debate emerged across sports talk shows because of this.
Are you the best point guard ever?
Yes.
A debate for Steph Curry or Magic Johnson for the greatest point guard of all time. And after what Steph did on the international stage, it's time to have the debate again. So who you got, Steph Curry or Magic Johnson? Because at the time this debate first cropped up, Stephen A. Smith received a text that might have put the argument to bed for good.
I have to read you a text that I received this morning at 5:54 a.m. Good morning, sir. Although greatest of anything is always a debate, I beg to differ on greatest point guard of all time with what you said. Magic Johnson is easily the best point guard of all time. Steph Curry is very close, but not in front of Magic. You must define point guard to really have a serious debate. Steph Curry is by far the best shooter of all time. Yes, his movement has created many shots for his teammates. He's a career 43% three-point shooter. But Magic Johnson invented the triple-double. Not true invented, but makes it more noticeable in terms of the impact on the game. It's a point guard stat, to be honest. Magic was the best. We can go on, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you get the point. By the way, Magic has 5 NBA championships.
Wow.
That quote this morning at 5:45 was from Mr. Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Wow, how about that?
Jordan played against Magic, so on one hand, he knows what it's like to go against him. On the other hand, he's a little bit biased. But the truth is, Michael Jordan might be right. A point guard's job, according to Bob Cousy, is to get the ball across half court and get your teammate a good look. Who was better at that in NBA history than Magic Johnson? His 11.2 assists per game are by far the most in NBA history, and he'd probably have the total assist record if he weren't forced to retire early. Magic Johnson could take 2 shots and still be the most impactful player on the court. For the first few years of his career, he had Kareem, probably the greatest half-court scorer of all time. Talk about a safety net. But as Kareem aged, the Lakers still thrived with guys like James Worthy, Michael Cooper, and Byron Scott. Because true point guards make their teammates better. Steph Curry has never led the league in assists. In fact, he's never come particularly close. But he has led the league in points, twice. Does that sound like a traditional point guard to you? He's a shoot-first player, not one who looks to set up his teammates, right? Well, if you think that's the case, you might totally be missing what it means to be a point guard. Stephen A's take on the subject might actually blow your mind. Because there are different ways a player can make his teammates better, right? After all, Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole might have had the easiest job as a secondary scorer in the entire league. And Kevin Durant never had trouble getting open looks when Steph was his point guard. You know why that is?
I defer to y'all when you talk the true definition of what a point guard is, which is a facilitator, facilitating the abilities for others around you to score.
That's the thing. The Warriors' secret weapon throughout all those years was not Steph's three-point shooting. That sounds crazy, right? Because the truth is, Steph Curry's superpower was his ability and willingness to move without the ball, whether or not he got the shot. The fact that he is by far the greatest shooter of all time made that superpower unstoppable. He showed that again in the Olympics, but we'll get to that in a second.
Steph Curry's extraordinary marksmanship and his movement without the basketball and how it forces a defense to have their head on a swivel. And as a result, it facilitates others like Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole when he was there to do what Worthy, Byron Scott, and others were able to do statistically for the Los Angeles Lakers while Magic Johnson was a point guard.
So is Stephen A right? Because in the modern sense of the word, Steph is a point guard. He lucked out having a point forward like Draymond Green on his team for a decade to feed him those open shots, but Steph was the catalyst for all of that. Because if you say Steph only worried about getting his own shots, you don't know Steph. Because he was the greatest shooter of all time, but he's also the ultimate decoy. And let's not act like Steph isn't one of the best passers in the league anyway. He's averaged a solid 6.4 assists per game for his career, which would probably be higher if he weren't lucky enough to play with Draymond. In fact, his career high in assists per game came in 2014, when he was coached by pass-first point guard Mark Jackson. The next year, he started focusing on scoring, when shoot-first point guard Steve Kerr was holding the clipboard. Coincidence? In another world, if Steph played in another era, could he have been Steve Nash? Looking back, Nash should have been taking way more threes, right? Because in modern basketball, Steph is the type of point guard you need.
If you're leaning on the true definition of a point guard, there is only one, and it is Irving Magic Johnson. But I'm thinking impact, the impact that you have in an offense. Yes, Steph Curry is really running around looking for the ball, but the offense evolves around him. He's listed as a point guard. The offense evolves around him. It's just half the time the ball ends up in his hands. He shoots about 9 3-pointers a game.
But positions in today's game are also sort of meaningless. Just ask the NBA themselves, who removed positions from all NBA selections. So do you think Michael Jordan was right that Steph can't be the greatest point guard of all time because he's not a point guard? Or do you think Stephen A is right, that he is the prototype for a new generation of point guard? Let us know in the comments. The truth is somewhere in between, but to get the full answer, you need to look no further than this summer's Olympics. We don't need to tell you how insane Steph's last 2 games were this summer. 36 points against Serbia in a semifinal game. It looked like they might lose. Then 8 threes against France, including the most insane image of a three-pointer in Olympics history, maybe NBA history. Just look at that. And if it weren't for Steph's insane barrage of threes, Team USA probably wouldn't have brought home a gold, a first for Curry. But it wasn't just his shooting. Look how easy it is for guys like Booker to get wide open threes because of Steph's aura. Because being a point guard doesn't just mean racking up assists. Being a point guard means making life easier on everyone else. It means making your teammates better. And who does that better this generation than Stephen Curry? Whether or not Steph is a point guard, we still have Magic higher on our list. He transformed the careers of several Hall of Famers, including rejuvenating Kareem in his later years. Magic's Lakers took 5 titles in an era with another dynasty, something Curry didn't have to contend with getting his 4 titles. Steph is, by a wide margin, the second greatest point guard of all time. Do you think that's the right order? Magic then Steph, or would you flip it around? Do you think Steph shouldn't even count in the point guard argument? Or do you think ranking players by position is meaningless in today's game anyway? Let us know in the comments and watch how Team USA proved they are the best in the world next. Listen to The Wrong Opinion, Useless NBA Trivia, and Garbage Rankings for more NBA content.